Hey, Chad, thank you for coming out today to celebrate the 20-year anniversary of the Streak team. We just finished talking to Scott Hatteberg, and Scott obviously had probably the most memorable moment of that streak. When you look back in that 20 games, what was a memory for you that's indelible personally?
Well, first off, I just remember we were really rolling and just pounding some teams and couldn't lose until the end, and then it got really crazy, and that's what I remember the most. The games that Tejada pulled it out. I remember game 20 here. I came in the game, and I think I gave up like 4 runs. I walked a few batters, made an error covering first base, and it just imprinted in my mind, don't screw this up. Don't screw this up, and you go out there and you didn't pitch well. And I can remember fans from the top of Mount Davis out there throwing toilet paper down in the middle of the inning, and we had to stop the inning several times and just drug on. And when I came out of the game, it wasn't good. And but thinking about that game, and even though you go in and blow it, and I think Koch had talked about that earlier today about, man, I blew that game, I lost, I blew the save. But then you look back and what's Hatteberg, he bailed us all out. He bailed us all out and made it all okay. So you remember the bad stuff followed directly by the good stuff.
Yeah, and think of all the times during those 20 games. The 19th game, you came back from a 5-0 deficit. You blow an 11-run lead, but Hatteberg bails out the team, and that's just it. That team must have been really special just to always have each other's backs, huh?
Oh, it was definitely like that, especially like down in the bullpen. We know we had Koch at the end, and Jim Maseer and me and Rincon and the other guys that were with us down there. We knew that if one guy struggled that night, the next guy could pick him up, and that's what happened.
And finally, Chad, you look 20 years later, there aren't a lot of guys in baseball. Tyler Rogers stands out as someone who's adopted your pitching style. Isn't that a little surprising? He had a successful career that not a lot of guys have taken the Chad Bradford approach to pitching.
Yeah, there's only been a few, and I think it's something that you have to accept. Hey, I'm not a hard thrower, and I have to get past that because everybody's chasing velocity now, and even back then they were. And you have to accept that and move forward with what you are, and be okay with being that sinker slider guy from down low. And there's been a few scattered around. In fact, Tyler, I had a long conversation with him about a year and a half ago, helping him with his career and get started. And but hopefully we see a few more, because it sure was fun to be able to come in a game and not throw quite as hard as everybody, but still get outs.